once again. We done took a little break off, but we back to the heart and soul in sports with yours truly, Tony. And we've been off for a minute, but we back now, so we gonna be ready to go full force from this point on. But let's dive right into it. Hats off to the Kansas City Chiefs for beating the 49ers. 49ers had every chance in the book to win that game, and they did everything they could to lose it. And I just don't quite understand the 49ers philosophy. You didn't do anything that got you to the dance. It seemed like you got away from it a little bit. And that's the strange thing. The defense was supposed to be your strong point. But we all knew the quarterback at some point was going to fall back down to earth. That's not it's not that big a difference. It was not that difficult to see. But what throws me off is that your defense played well enough because you had the lead at one point, and you just couldn't make a stop when it counted. It reminded me of the Ravens and the Kansas City Chiefs game. We're going to get into that in a minute, but then you go into overtime. You never take the ball first in overtime. You get them the ball first, see what they do, and then you respond to it. But the 49ers took the ball first, and all they could muster up was 3 points, and next thing you know, Kansas City drive down the field in overtime and win the game. Now this thing I got a problem with. 49ers defense, you was well rested when the 49ers offense was on the field in overtime to drive. And you couldn't make one stop. Talking about one stop, all you needed, and you could not make it. You let Patrick Mahomes go for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Your 49ers, your window is closing. You're not gonna make it back to the Super Bowl that many more times. You're not gonna win the NFC that many times. And I know they're gonna say, well, the quarterback, he was young. He was. Purdy was. But at the same time, he didn't make enough plays to win the game. And I'm sorry if everybody got a problem with that, but they just didn't make enough plays to win the game. And you gave Patrick Mahomes too many chances. And he made you pay for them. Like I say, you played well enough. Just your defense just couldn't make a stop when it mattered. Then we go back to that being said, I just don't think the 49ers are going to come back. I don't think they're going to make it back again. I think this was it. This was their best chance to win because they're not going to be able to keep that defense together. Come on, let's just be real. They're not going to be able to. And you're not going to keep getting chance after chance. The only reason the 49ers didn't that in the first place is because the Philadelphia Eagles are garbage. They good in the regular season, and then when it comes to clutch time, they don't play worth crap. They played the last 6 out of 7 games they lost. So you limping into the playoffs. Your defense can't stop anybody. You didn't make no improvements on the defense. Your offense couldn't make a play if they life depended on it. Jalen Hurts played like trash. I don't care if he was hurt or what the situation is. If you hurt and you know you're not 100% and you can't be a contributor to the team, you shouldn't be in the game in the first place. I'm not interested in where he was out there. He played like a warrior. That means nothing to nobody. At this point, you still lost. You didn't even get there. So I'm not interested in that. Now, the one thing I really wanted to get into, and this is the most disappointing team out there, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm not disappointed in the Ravens defense. The Ravens defense helped Kansas City Chiefs 17 points. I'm disappointed in the Ravens offense. I'm disappointed in Lamar Jackson. Once again, in a big spot, you struggle. And it ain't all him now. not all him. Let's not get it twisted. It ain't all him. But when you're the captain of the ship, you're responsible for everything that goes on the ship. Then you get that dumb receiver, in which I don't really understand nothing about this guy. Flowers, is that his name? Zay Flowers. You in the AFC Championship game. You make one good catch, and what you do, get up and start gloating. Well, that catch was notified because then you get a 15-yard, basically taunting penalty, and you move the ball back. Okay, they can say, well, that didn't affect me. That contributed to the downslide. Then you get the ball in the end zone. Well, you was going in the end zone, then you fumble at the one. See, Mr. Flowers, it shows you your unprofessionalism. You're not professional. You can't. You gloating off one catch. You see the Kansas City cornerback got up, he got up, didn't even acknowledge it, went on by his business. You cost your team 15 yards, then you cost your team 7 points. And what that does is you make Lamar Jackson try to be more than he is. Now you try to make him do things that he's probably not capable of doing or good at doing. So you put a lot more pressure on him to make a play because of your stupid play. Then you get up and the press comes and then say, well, I'm not going to let one play define me. You had multiple plays that defined you. Not one, multiple plays. If that was anybody responsible for that loss, it's Flowers. You're the one who was, you're the main reason they lost, in my opinion. Your dumb plays, your childish mentality, your stupid antics basically cost Baltimore Ravens a chance to go to the Super Bowl. And let's just be honest, the Ravens window is closing just like the 49ers window is. So, I really don't know what to say about it. I think the Ravens, to me, your defense played the lights out. You let them score 17 points in the first half, and then in the second half, you shot them out. And the Ravens couldn't take advantage of it. The Ravens offense couldn't take. The Ravens offense is what let the team down. Your pathetic offense is the reason the Ravens did not go to the Super Bowl. And I'm not interested in what you did 3-4 games ago. That doesn't matter. The whole point is, when you had to, you couldn't. And that's the thing with what kills me about the Ravens. Everybody they get hyped up, and then let me tell you, a friend of mine said, he told me, if you going deep in the playoffs and lose, the only thing you did is play more games to the ones that didn't even get to the playoffs. You serve no purpose. There's no trophy for getting there. There's no nothing. You lost. And now we're saying John Harbaugh can't win the big game, which your offense is pitiful. You've been running the ball all this time, and all of a sudden you get in the AFC Championship game and you forget how to run the ball. I don't really understand. I don't understand anything that they were doing. If you want to know my opinion about it, because they did not play like they played to get there. They always told me, whatever got you there, you keep doing it. But they did not do that. So Kansas City came from the basement, which I didn't think they were going to do anything this year, to sitting on Mount Rushmore. The thing that got me is the last in overtime. How do you let this receiver get this wide open? There's nobody around him. Y'all supposed to be, the 49ers supposed to be this advantage defense. Number one, you couldn't get pressure on him, and when you did, you couldn't tackle him. Number two, he broke off huge runs over and over again. Number three, what was all this offensive firepower that the 49ers had, and you didn't use any of it? I didn't see any of it. So it's just strange to me that you didn't do what you did to get to that point. And that's what a lot of teams be messing up at. They stop doing what got them there, and that's what hurts you. All right, well, that's over. We go to the off season now. And let's just talk about Denver. Denver's just making a mess out of their quarterback situation. I don't know what they're going to do with Russell Wilson. And Sean Payton is... I really don't know what Sean Payton... Number one, I just don't think Sean Payton should have been hired in the first place. That's just my opinion. Because the way he tried to talk... You know what reminds me of? The way he's treating Russell Wilson is like he really don't want him there. But he can't say it. He can't come out and say it. So I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to make you not want to be here. And to me, that's what he's doing. Russell Wilson did not play lights out. But trust me, he is not the only reason they didn't win. Their defense was not that great. The receiving core, up and down at the best. The offensive line is shaky. I just think Sean Payton wanted another quarterback, and this is the way to push Russell Wilson out. Because what he told Russell Wilson about taking a pay cut, or he's going to bench him, that's pretty much letting me know you want him out of there. And John Elway, if you sitting in the office and you see all this, what did you say? I ain't heard you say nothing. So that means you and Sean Payton are on the same page. Both of y'all are full of you know what. Because there's no way you do anybody like this. You force it. You know, they always talk about this player forced his way out. Well, y'all are forcing him out. You giving him no choice. And that's the dumb thing about it, because if all y'all supposed to be professionals, why didn't you just pull this guy to the side? If you knew this was not the quarterback you wanted, you should have said something way before now. It just said they needed a scapegoat, and he was the easiest option from the way I'm looking at it, because he piled on Russell Wilson, but you didn't say nothing to nobody else. Like he was the only reason they were losing. He was a part of the reason they were losing, but he was not the only reason they were losing. So, I really don't know what to say about that. The Eagles let's just get on the Eagles right now. The Eagles are a mess. You know, that was a report out that A.J. Brown calls out rumors saying that they said he didn't want to be there, and he had to come back and try to retract that comment and say, I want to be here. I don't know if he want to be there or not. Who knows? But it just seemed like Jalen Hurts messed up when he was trying to force A.J. Brown the ball. Instead of going through his progression, if A.J. Brown was open, fine. If the play was going to A.J. Brown and he wasn't open, you go to your second read. It was like that he was trying to force the ball to A.J. Brown. And it seemed like once he started doing that, the team just started crumbling and falling apart. Because it says right here, and I'm reading this off ESPN, Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown called into a sports radio show Friday afternoon to address rumors about his future with the team. He said, I have no problem. I want to be here. As simple as that, Brown told Philadelphia radio station 94 WIP. I love where I'm at. It's as simple as that. Next question. What he's doing is called the rumors of friction between himself and quarterback Jalen Hurts total BS. I'm not going to get into me and his relationship on that, but it's total BS. You know what I'm saying? He said, I wasn't a problem. When I was on my six game streak, they wasn't talking about that then. So they only started talking about that when we started losing. Of course, you see friction from everybody, from coaches, from players, and from everybody. So there you go. I just don't think it's that simple. He said Brown said he believes he and his teammates gave the media the answers after the Eagles collapsed, but people just don't want to accept the answer. Really, I'm just taking up for my teammates, he said, because half of the rumors half of the rumors is really crazy. Now, it's something about what he said. He said half the rumors. He didn't say them all. So there's some rumors that are facts. He said, you see what the media is doing right now the past whole month, you wonder why I'm not talking to them. I don't want to talk to them because no matter what I say, you guys are going to make a story and pinpoint it however you want to pinpoint it. This is the fact. Now y'all can go back and look this up if you like. Before Jalen Hurts started forcing the issue to A.J. Brown, they were on the winning streak. And I think that some of the other receivers and tight ends start saying something. Now I can't prove any of this, but it's just a coincidence. And you can go back and watch the games. I've seen them. He tried to force this dude the ball in double coverage when you had receivers open, when you had a tight end open. So to me, I think that's where most of the problems started. When Jalen Hurts when he started trying to force feed A.J. Brown, you got more than A.J. Brown over there. You got good receivers. You should have went through your progression and found the open receiver and not try to force the ball to any one receiver. I don't care how much he complained, because the rumor is that A.J. Brown was going back in the huddle complaining, demanding the ball even when he knew that he wasn't open. When you got to come on a radio show and try to defend a rumor, it's more to that rumor than people think. Because if it wasn't, that would be no reason for you to go on no radio show and try to defend yourself. You tried to defend yourself because you knew that was true. Even you said it. Said some of the rumors are not BS. Most people say all the rumors are garbage, but you said some of it. So basically you told on yourself indirectly. And I just think that they were doing better when Jalen Hurts was not trying to force the ball to no one receiver. Now, they still wasn't going to go anywhere because their defense is pitiful. I really don't know what they do on defense. I have no clue. They have to be one of the worst defenses in the NFL, if not the worst, at least one of the worst. They can't stop anybody. I don't care what team was coming in. They were just running the ball at will. They was throwing the ball. The receivers is wide open. I really have no idea how they collapsed that quickly. But they collapsed. That was one of the best collapses I've ever seen. You lose 6 of the last 7 games. You had the NFC East locked up. Dallas was dead in the water. Dallas won the division because you collapsed. Why would I have any faith in Philadelphia that they could do anything? I don't have any faith in Philadelphia. Until they fix their defense, they're not doing anything. They're not getting out the East. They'll be looking to get a wild card at this point. And I ain't really sold on they'll do that. The Philadelphia Eagles defense is straight trash. Straight trash. And on a sad note, Kansas City. Sometimes success comes with a price. And this is not on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is on the Kansas City team itself. I mean, the city itself. It's not on the team. You had that shooting at y'all parade and one woman got killed. And they had a funeral yesterday. And it's a time of joy. And this is what happens. It says 100 of mourners attend a funeral mass Saturday for Kansas City area DJ who was killed when she was shot during a celebration of the Chiefs' Super Bowl victory. Lisa Lopez Galvan was one of about 24 people who were shot when gunfire erupted February 14th outside of the city Union Station. She was 43 years old. She was remembered during the 90-minute service as a loving wife and mother who smiled could light up the room and who saw each day as a chance for excitement and laughter. With her casket near the front of the Catholic Church in Kansas City, Missouri, mourners, some wearing cheap jerseys, also heard a mariachi band play and sing. Along with her husband and young adult son, Lopez Galvin, had joined an estimated crowd of 1 million people for the parade and rally. As the festivities ended and dispute over what authorities described as the belief that people in one group were starting at people in another group led to the gunfire. Y'all, you can't even celebrate without somebody getting killed. And that's a shame. The time that you should be enjoying yourself, jubilation, celebration. Now, February 24th, you doing a funeral because some ignorant people decided that a gun was the answer to their problem. Every time I read one of these articles, let me get it straight. Every time I read one of these articles, that anytime there's a dispute, you grab a gun. How big of a coward are y'all? Really? The first thing you do is grab a gun. Do you know you end 2 lives? You end the life of the person you killed, and your life is over with. The guy that did this shooting and killed this woman, you should never see the daylight again. That's just fact. That to me, you should never see the daylight again. Because it's a shame and a disgrace that you had nothing else better to do but to shoot into a crowd of over 1 million people. Now, if there is a silver lining, which is really not, but if there is, then he shot that many times and only killed 1 person. It's not no silver lining, but it could have been worse. The thing is, this stuff got to stop at some point. I don't know what this generation is going to. It's a generation of cowards. You think just because you got a gun, you're a big man. You think just because you can pull a gun, you're a big man. Have y'all seen some of these people that so these thugs and gangbangers, when they get shot, how they be crying like little women? Excuse me, not women. Little babies. But you so hard when you shoot somebody, but when you get shot, what you crying for? What you asking for help for? You don't need any help. No, that's the sad thing about it. Dad, this is the only way y'all know how to resolve a dispute. Grab a gun. That's your answer. Only thing that shows you is how pitiful and pathetic you are. You're a big man because you got a gun. But when you go to prison, you don't have a gun then. When you get shot, then you crying on the ground like a little baby. And baby is not the word I want to use, but it's the word I'm going to use. That's why I say sometimes success comes with a price. I just don't understand why a gun is always the answer. Gun is never the answer. It never have been. It's an answer to cowards. But it's a question of those who stand up and don't have to use a gun. It's a question to them. But they don't mind. They don't mind being called cowards because that's what they are. They are cowards. Straight up cowards. You got a yellow streak of mile going down your back because that's what you are. You're so scared to take a butt whooping that this is the only way out. If you fight and get beat or beat somebody up, guess what? You're not going to prison. Unless you kill them. But to shoot into a crowd for no unnecessary reason because you got a dispute with another group, and this is the way you resolve it. The guy that shot that woman and killed him, you're pathetic, you're pitiful, and you're weak. That's just how it is. But hey, that's another 30 minutes in the book. Hey, we back on track now. We took some time off because everybody needs some time off every now and then. But hey, we back in full force, and we're gonna give you the updates on the sports as we get them. But hey, we'll be back next week. Next week, same time, same place on the Heart and Soul in Sports. And remember, if you don't have a heart and soul, you ain't in sports. Two fingers, peace.